What's up, guys? Back on me is here at Smallville, Season 5, Episode 6, Exposed. Okay, so this episode starts off with Chloe and Lois at the Daily Planet where Chloe gets a call, from a lady, and when she gets that call, the lady, someone's after her, but then a car ran right through the lady, and the lady died. So, yeah. So now it's up to investigator Chloe and Lois to discover who was the one responsible for that woman's death. So yeah. And Jonathan's old friend, an old friend, Jonathan's Jake Jennings, Senator Jake Jennings, comes to town, played by Jonathan Snyder's on-screen brother from Dukes Hazzard, Tom Wopat. And yeah, and he's like, hey, Lex Luthor is running for senator. Yeah. And yeah, so then we get to the town, and we see Lex there, and he's like, hey Lois, why do you dislike me so much? What did I do to you? And he's like, I don't dislike you, Lex. I just don't like how rich people go for the job, go for this. I've seen how rich people go for the senator's position. So yeah, he also calls her a muffin something. So yeah. So their investigation, Chloe and Lois's investigation, leads them to this like play a stripper club where it's run by this guy named Mr. Lowe or something, and he's yeah. And Lois does a performance. Clark's at the performance, and Clark uses Lex's name to get into the club, and he sees Lois, which is very funny how Lois is just stripping. It's not funny that Lois is stripping, but it's funny that Lois is stripping and Clark's watching. It's very funny, and yeah, and he goes over, and she's like, yeah, this was Chloe's idea. So yeah, but Lois gets taken by Mr. Lowe, I think his name is, and and he takes weird pictures of her. He takes weird pictures of her, and he takes like weird pictures of her, and yeah. Yeah, he attempts to Clark discovers he's trying to smuggle Lois into the country, or he discovers a fake passport made for Lois, but but Lois knocks all the guys out, and makes sure is like, hey, they're like, hey, arrest this guy, but he's like, he has diplomatic immunity, so he can't be arrested in this country. But he goes to like Europe, and he's arrested there because he can't be arrested in this country, but he can't be arrested anywhere else because he doesn't have their diplomatic immunity. So, and Chloe makes her first byline of the episode, and Lex is like, hey Clark, use my name to get into a club, and yeah. So this episode, yeah, and Chloe and Lois talk, or Clark and Lois talk, whoever talks, and that's how the episode ends. This episode was really good. Actually, wait, yeah, there's also a scene, yeah, and also because of what, yeah, talks to Jonathan in the car, and he reveals that he did some bad stuff, and he's like, Clark looked up to you. Clark looked up to you, and yeah, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm stepping down from senator, stepping down from being the senator, and I want you to take over as the senator, Jonathan. And that's how basically the end of the episode. This is basically the end of the story. I really enjoyed this episode. It was very good. I can't believe that guy tried to sell Lois in slavery, but yeah, at least he got arrested in another country. He didn't have diplomatic community there, so yeah, so he got arrested there. And last episode there was a really weird episode. It wasn't the as the producers and the writers say it was one of the worst episodes of Smallville. I don't think it sort of wasn't one of the worst episodes. It was one of the weirdest. Because yeah, last episode you had Lana as a vampire. Last episode, you had a vampire sorority who Buffy Saunders, who was a play on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Buffy Summers, and which I haven't watched the show, and yeah, and and yeah, and also Clark and Chloe and Lana are now in NYU, as Chloe mentioned last episode. But this episode, it was pretty decent for a Smallville episode. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty decent. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. It was pretty decent. Also, on my Arrowverse reviews, watch my Superman Lois video. I really enjoyed doing that. I'm excited. And on my other channel, Riverdale reviews, I'm going to do Riverdale tonight. So, yeah. So, okay. So like, comment, subscribe because I have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next Smallville.